Hello, guys, and welcome to Late Night with Dr. T. I'm your host, Dr. Tranell Steward. Thank you for joining me tonight. We got a good show for you, like we do every Tuesday night. This is Positive Power 21 Music Vision TV. We're in full effect, y'all. We're in full effect. We got new shows on the radio network, starting with Monday nights. Pep Talk with Ree at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Rock Life with Zion, Pamela Zion, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we have on Tuesdays, you just heard from Dr. Paul Kelly and Marcia Kelly on the Pastor Time International Teaching Ministry, and that starts at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here before my show airs, Late Night with Dr. T, at 10:30 every Tuesday Eastern Standard Time as well. All right, so Positive Power 21 is bringing it with the new shows and events that are coming up. We'll be hearing more about the Music Vision TV shortly once we bring on the visionary of this great network, who is my guest tonight. So I'm so excited about that. If you are an artist looking to have your music aired, music videos aired, or looking for an interview, simply email me at youfirstmedianetwork@gmail.com. That is the letter U, the number 1, ST, medianetwork@gmail.com. I love getting new music and putting spotlight on artists and community leaders that are making a difference and spreading the love of God. I say that every week because I really, really mean that. I look forward to seeing what God is doing across the globe. You know, there's so much going on, so many things, so much music out there, and different things happening that want to stay involved and want to stay in the know. I'm just excited for what God is doing through everybody that, you know, we've come in contact with. I just came back from Bahamas. We did a tour over there, redid a tour over there, and met some amazing artists over there. And I mean, it's just the love of God was so evident in the Bahamas, and we got a chance to have that experience with the Bahama crew, also the choirs that came with us from Denmark and also from the U.S. So it's just amazing to be able to, it was singing the whole time, you know, so you get an opportunity to hear a lot of, you know, that music and stuff from some of those artists, not just on this show, but also a Pep Talk where you tune into that, you'll get to hear some of that. But I'm just telling you, there's some amazing artists out there that have yet to be heard, and I'm so excited about that. So I'm excited about what they could be doing in the future as well. So that's just a tidbit of info. If you want to find out and see some of the things that happened over the past week, make sure you connect with me on Facebook. You'll get to see all those pictures and videos and stuff like that. It was amazing, y'all. Amazing. All right. So don't forget, if you haven't voted yet, all right, Batman of the radio, late night radio, Mr. Jerry Royce Live, Positive Power, Double XI, for Radio Announcer of the Year with the Voices of Gospel Awards. Okay, you can go right on to Vogma.org and cast your votes. That's VOGMA.org, and cast your votes there. And while you're there, make sure that you vote in for Ree, Trent Gadsden, Kent Osborne, and Slim Veazey in their respective categories, all right? There is more award nominations from these fine folks, and I would encourage you to connect with me. If you have not done so, go on and like You First Management. That's the letter U, the number 1, ST Management. And that's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you check us out also at youfirstmanagemententerprises.com as well. We want to keep you up to date, and this is the best way that we know how to do that. All right? And we're going to take a quick break and hear one of my favorites song from indie artist Danny. It's called Salvation. Every time I play this song, I get a text or a follow-up from somebody. So it's definitely been a blessing. So please enjoy this, and we'll be right back after this.
a minute to introduce you to the greatest man that you'll ever meet in your lifetime. He's a real good friend of mine, and he can be a friend of yours too. I'ma tell you what you gotta do. First, I wanna know, will you give your heart, mind, and your soul? I just wanna know, will you give your life to Christ today? And if so, just say with me, Lord, I'm a sinner, I need your forgiveness. I believe in my heart you've risen from the dead. I confess with my mouth you are Lord above all, and you died on the cross to save my soul. Lord, I'm a sinner, I need your forgiveness. I believe in my heart you've risen from the dead. I confess with my mouth you are Lord above all, and you died on the cross to save my soul. So now that you have a new friend, spend a little time with him. Get to know him for yourself. Most importantly, introduce him to your friends and family. Tell them what they gotta do, but say first, I wanna know, will you give your heart, mind, and your soul? It's a sacrifice. I just wanna know, give your life to Christ today. And if so, come on and say it with me. Lord, I'm a sinner, I need your forgiveness. I believe in my heart you've risen from the dead. I confess with my mouth you are Lord above all, and you died on the cross to save my soul. Lord, I'm a sinner, I need your forgiveness. I believe in my heart you've risen from the dead. I confess with my mouth you are Lord above all, and you died on the cross to save my soul. I just wanna offer you the greatest opportunity, salvation in Christ Jesus. I just wanna offer you the greatest opportunity, salvation in Christ Jesus. But first I wanna know, will you give your heart, mind, and your soul? I just wanna know, will you give your life to Christ today? And so just say, Lord, I'm a sinner, I need your forgiveness. I believe in my heart you've risen from the dead. I confess with my mouth you are Lord above all, and you died on the cross to save my soul. Lord, I'm a sinner, I need your forgiveness. I believe in my heart you've risen from the dead. I confess with my mouth you are Lord above all, and you died on the cross to save my soul.
Can you feel the power? Yeah, it's your girl Ree, and I'm so excited to be coming to you Mondays, every single Monday on Pep Talk with Ree. We're going to have praise, empowerment, and prayer. This is going to be amazing. Interviews, great music, and just a time for us to stay motivated. Listen, Monday, some people look into that and be like, yeah, Monday. But you know what? This is Pep Talk with Ree. So y'all be ready and excited and stay locked on Positive Power Christian Media Network.
All right. That was Ree, y'all. Y'all have to make sure y'all tune in on Mondays. All right. Great show. All right, welcome back. You are tuned in to Late Night with Dr. T right here on the Positive Power Network. That was Salvation by Danny. I love that song. It's simple, but it holds so much power. And we know there's power when you learn what God has freely offered you, what salvation really means. It's defined as a deliverance from harm, ruin, or loss. All right? That's what Jesus did for us. That's enough to praise him right there. That's enough to know that he truly loves you. We owe him our lives. We owe it to him to continue to walk in the freedom that he has extended and blessed us with. I'm so grateful for his love. I'm glad he provided the yes for me, because I can't make it without him. I can't do what he called me to do, what he's ordained me to do, without him. So I owe him my life. And so all that I do, I want to make sure that I'm giving him glory in it. And that's what I stand on. If what I'm doing doesn't glorify God, then I can't do it. That's what I built my company off of. That is my mindset. That's how I make decisions when I work with certain clients. And one of my clients, as you know, is Jerry Royce Live, the visionary behind Positive Power 21, your #1 internet radio network. And you also know that we've worked together for some time now, done a few projects, and it's just been amazing. I'm looking forward to what God has in store. Like I said in the beginning of the show, there is so much going on, and Jerry will be sharing more about that and what we have going on, but also about the man behind the business of Positive Power 21. And that's important. I think that's important for us to know who's behind, all this vision. All right. So, my motto, can't nobody tell our story like we can. So without further ado, please welcome Jerry Royce Live to the show, y'all.
What's up? What's up, people? What's up, family? What's up, Dr. T?
What's that? Nothing much. You sound all clear and loud. See how you do? You got that good stuff over there.
Well, I turned it up. I ain't want y'all talking me. I had to put you on mute.
I can still do. Oh yeah, I can't do that because you got control over
That's
there.
Right.
Okay.
I got the power. Thank you for having me.
All right. So
thank you.
just, huh?
So thank you for having me. Nobody be having Batman on that show.
Welcome.
Yeah, nobody had Batman on that show. Maybe 2 people.
They didn't.
No, just
Okay.
Falana, Evangelist Falana, the only one. Bonafide talk. Yeah, nobody.
See now I should have did this earlier, but we got you now, so it's no big. We got you going now.
Oh, my bad. I was on Paula
G.
I was on Paula G. My bad. I forgot about that.
Okay. Paula gonna get you.
She gonna get me.
You ain't remember her. So, but I'm glad to have you tonight. I'm glad you're able to come on tonight because I definitely want to have you share about everything that's going on because it's like I said, I always say a lot because there's so many different aspects of what you do, whether it's radio, TV, film. So I want to talk a little bit about each of those areas tonight, if we will. But before we do, we know you're the man behind this amazing network that we're airing on. But for those listeners that may just be coming on for the first time that has yet to be introduced to you, please give them a tidbit about yourself and your background.
All right, before I move on, so I don't get beat up while I'm on an airplane, I was on Superwoman's show. I was on Tina Hobson's show. Forgive me, Tina. That's 3 shows.
Oh, you missed Tina too? Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna get it. They're gonna
Ladies,
get me.
I had nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with it.
That's right. I'm waiting to be on Pep Talk, Pastor's Time, Let's Talk with the Lord, Kimmy Relations Radio, Faith Walker. Oh man, I can go down the line. How many shows do I produce? Zion. That's right.
He calling y'all out.
I'm calling y'all out. Calling everybody out. That's right. All right. What did you say?
I'm glad I was able to go ahead and get you on there before you called everybody out, so I won't be in that number.
How many shows was that? 15? I'm gonna get them. All right.
It's something like that.
Tina funny. All right. What did you ask me? I forgot that quick.
Oh Lord. Y'all don't be messing with him so he could do his interview.
That's right.
All right. So I'm asking to introduce yourself to the people who may not know you that are listening for the first time and just give a tidbit about yourself and your background.
All right, real quick. Well, I'm a parent. I'm a podcaster. I'm a husband of going on 27 years in April. Radio operator, 4 years. We celebrate our 4th year in December. I've been in publishing for over 20 years with my family. Actually was a model to host a television show in D.C. under the Moon Man. If you guys remember Moon Man, I was on a dance show. I'm a graphic designer, film, not videographer, but cinematographer, and a host of other things. Too many more to remember.
So I know. You had a family background in with the radio, the podcasting and stuff prior to. Is that right?
Yeah. Before we started Positive Power Double XI, the deal was I had started a radio station under my dad's company, but my brother and my dad, all three of us owned. My mom was an investor. And what happened was when I came back to look at podcasting again, I saw that the technology had taken on a whole new level. I mean, it's phenomenal when you can connect your mic, your mixers. I was like, wow. And the funny thing was I had bought a mixer, but I never used it. My son actually told me how to hook it up because he was actually studying it in middle school. So I was like, okay. No more playing radio. I was actually playing radio at the time because it started out as a hobby. But I decided to move it into another business because it was my brother didn't want to help me with it. He said he didn't want to do radio. He said he want to make some real money. Oh, yeah. So I decided that, I said, if he going to feel that way, if I strike it rich, then he won't reap the benefits of it. So that's when I decided to go ahead and start a new company. And then, then my kids don't have to worry about fighting out in court with nobody if something happened to me. So that was the whole idea behind that. Yeah, I couldn't believe he said that. Okay. Yeah. I know. He had the nerves.
Yeah, it's always good. I mean, you learn to do something that was a hobby and like turn it into, a career. That's a dream. Yeah. And a lot of people don't get to do that. So that this is your passion, this is something that you love to do. And when you love to do something, you're going to do it well and do it with excellence. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
I know that we both have similar views on the independent gospel music industry. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because you've been in radio for quite some time now. And we work a lot with the independent artists and hear the stories and experiences that they have had or are having. Give me your thoughts on the gospel industry as a whole and where you see, as a radio host, what we need to do to give our artists better opportunities to get their music out to the nation.
Well, I was listening to you talk about, your trip and how you met all these fabulous artists on the boat, and you probably never heard their music before. And that's because, they need more opportunities and they need to find out about us. The only way they're going to find out about internet radio is through the networks. We got to extend our networks. Of course, it's always going to be about money. You have to pump money into your marketing. We can't just rely on word of the mouth. And, basically, black people, that's the way we've been working for years is underground, like the Underground Railroad. We like to assimilate our information underground. It's basically the way the internet was treated in the beginning, but now it is becoming mainstream. So they have to start treating it like mainstream, even their management. The independent record companies out there, if you identify a radio station that you really like, the only way it's going to grow when you invest money into it, meaning buying advertisement, supporting the radio station as much as you can, because all of us going to be just looking like podcasters for years if the record companies don't step it up. Because basically, just think about it. That's what put your urban stations on the map was the record labels. The music videos like MTV and BET got it started. Because remember, Michael Jackson was just selling 45s to us until BET, came along. And then, of course, when he did that Motown thing. So they got to look at it like that. We can't recreate the wheel. The wheel is already there. You got to support your radio. Yeah. That's the only way that these artists are going to have an opportunity to be heard by millions of. Just think about it. It's probably, 3 to 5 billion people on Facebook. And music is universal. Especially overseas. Yeah. Overseas have no problem with African American gospel music. They love it. They love it. I hear it all the
Yeah.
time. I mean, we got people tuning in from India, Pakistan. I mean, not
Yeah.
Pakistan, but Australia and Austria and Germany, UK. Canada. The list can go on. But we can't reach all of
Yeah.
them without money. You know,
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
to put in the marketing, and it's pretty cheap too.
Yes.
You know, reach out there.
Yeah.
You know, and I love the
That's
industry.
true. The internet definitely gives more opportunities. And I think that is growing. The industry, as far as the radio and television, internet base, is growing. It's becoming the go-to market, especially when you're talking about international,
That's right.
because that's where they hear it first. You know, and like you said, it's easy because we have things like Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that we're marketing for free. You know, we're putting music out, we're putting things out there, and that there is going overseas, and they're hearing that stuff for free. But then there's another component to where we reach people. As far as I'm speaking of us from the radio side, reaching people that the artist may not be able to necessarily reach, or their music hasn't been heard in those specific areas. So it's good to connect with radio. So that you can get that music out there.
That's right. You got to get it out there. And I think like I said, when the record executives and even the independent artists that support themselves, a lot of them use promoters. A lot of times the promoters are just spending most of their time looking for interviews. Eventually, that's going to be tiresome. And you're going to let your money do the work for you. You know, just let your money do your walking. You know, it's going to, just like now, us, of course, Facebook has decided to say, hey, if you haven't communicated with this individual in a few weeks, then we feel like they're really not that much of a friend. So, of course, you can't spend that much time reaching 3,000 or 5,000 friends every day, or how often they expect you to do that. So it's a lot of work. So it's almost like, okay, two things have to happen for the radio station for me to be able to support the artist. One, they or their record executives have to start investing money in advertising so we can pump money into Facebook and the other platforms we on, or I'm going to have to invest in hiring social media promoters, which all they doing is going to be posting in groups. You know, they're going to be posting in groups where the artists are. So that don't make no sense. You're promoting to other artists. You know, do other artists really buy other artists' music all the time? Not like a Christian, group. But then you got to find those groups that's one that allow you to promote. And it's almost like you have to reach out to the moderator and say, hey, I have some fantastic Christian music. I think it can change the lives of your people. I'm reading their testimonies. And I think this movie is this movement that we have with the music can help them. So it's almost like you have to make business connections now. And I know I haven't been doing it. I don't know if you're doing it, but we probably need to do. I think the only moderator I had actually reached out to, and that was Regina, Sister Regina, or what's that, Internet Generations?
Shout out to Regina, Sister Regina. She's on here right now.
Yeah.
And this lady is making some moves too. Y'all get connected.
That's right.
She is the IGEN network.
Yeah, there we go. IGN network.
But yes, check her out.
That's
check her out.
She treated
Definitely.
like
Shout
a business. Just like a business. She don't just treat it like as a group. Just like now I've seen some groups, especially because I belong to a few diabetes group, and them they don't play. They treat that thing like a club, like a real tea party. Yeah. And she does the same thing. Yeah. Sister Regina treat the thing like, she know everybody's in there and everything. Like that. I know it's very time consuming, but that's, if you're gonna start something, you gotta do it right. Amen. Yes,
and Tina said something on here that's vital. You have to build relationships.
Yeah.
And that's the gist of all of it. I mean, whether you're an artist, whether you are in podcasting, whether you are in television, film, you have to get your stuff out there. We all have to do the same thing. Like, I have this show, but I have to promote it. I have to get it out there because people need to hear it. That's the whole purpose of it. The artist has music. They need to get out there because people need to hear it. Because ultimately, there's a purpose in why we're doing what we're doing. And internet makes it possible. We have to build relationships.
Yeah.
Definitely have to build
But we can't treat it like it's our neighborhood, like our community, just one little two blocks, because it's bigger than that. And if you look at, I know, like when I was working with the Blessed Network, I remember we used to have like concerts, and I remember that executives used to pump in maybe like $5, $10, or maybe 20, whatever they was investing. They would get like 80,000 hits in one night. People was actually viewing.
Wow.
And I remember that artist, and I'm gonna throw his name out there, Anthony Avery. Anthony Avery blew up after that concert. He was, when we ran into him at J. Nicole's event and we had him on camera, he said, I am so busy since Unplugged, because that's what was the name of the concert series. We had called it Unplugged. And he said he was so busy. He said he was double, I think triple booked one night. Triple booked. He had a concert in the park, church event. I was like, what? You know, he said, and that was because, you know, she dropped a little bit of money, got big results out of it. And I said, wow, look at that. Look at that. That was powerful. You gotta
use wisdom too. And all that. I mean, you definitely have to invest in yourself, invest in your business and what you're doing. You definitely have to use wisdom. Above all of that, you have to use wisdom, because you have so many networks out here right now. You have so many people that are duplicating what they see out there, but it's the same thing. It's the same things going on, because people are just saying that this is a way to make money, but they're losing the idea of helping and getting the music out there for a purpose. You know, how have you committed to helping the independent artists further their career? What role do you play besides? I guess I can rephrase that a little bit. Coming from a radio perspective, what advice would you give artists that want to get their music heard and they're just getting into this industry, meaning they haven't talked to radio, they haven't talked to execs and stuff like that, and don't really know what they're getting ready to walk into? What kind of advice would you give them from your perspective?
Well, since I've been doing this, you know, going on 4 years, and, you know, I know what makes it easy for us, you know, being producers and, you know, building a playlist. I say work with some professional producers, you know, work with some people who've been there before. You got some artists who were backup singers to Grammy Award winning artists. Reach out to them, get a mentor. You know, you have a couple radio stations and some churches putting on events, you know, where they can go out there and get some notes on how to have stage presence and how to do a music video, you know, all that kind of stuff, how to interview. Like, you know, you get people come on here and interview and they talk for 20 minutes without stopping and miss the question. You're not going to be no fun. Nobody going to want to interview you if you're going to do that. You know, just say your piece and let the interviewer, you know, if it's a bad interviewer, then, you know, just do your thing, do you. And, you know, 15 minutes or an hour, you know, have your presentation ready. Find out how long is my interview. Is it 15 minutes? You let them know what you want to talk about. Sometimes they're pretty open about it. I mean, I don't have no problem people sending me the questions, but, you know, our shows are like 30 minutes. That's plenty of time to talk about your family and stuff. So, be prepared. And Ngara has been a wonderful resource for a lot of artists. One, they send us the music. I know the title of the song, and I know the artist. I have a bunch of songs in here right now I get from independent. I don't know who they belong to. They have no name. Some of them say track 2, track 1. I play it because I like the music, and I don't have time to remix everybody's song to come through here. So you're not going to get promoted if you send in radio stations your music and there's no meta tag on it. We have no idea. I mean, especially a lot of us use the same platform, so I know what they're looking at. Yeah. So get that straight. Yeah. That's number one.
So get some professional advice and not just, and I know that we have these different panels and networks and stuff, and they have experts, so to speak, I'm using air quotes, on the industry. Make sure that you're doing your own homework.
That's right.
make sure that you're looking into what they're saying. Always, if they're saying something to you, they should be confirming something. That means that it should have already been said, it should have already been done, and it should be encouraging you to step out and do your own thing. A lot of people that are in the industry try to give you advice based on what has worked in the past for other artists or what hasn't worked for other artists.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that aspect of it because it prevents you, it limits the artist from coming out and doing something new. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Take the advice, but also make sure it lines up with your vision and make sure that it also is something that is true.
That's right.
So you can't take everything. Can't take everything and run with it. Professionalism is key.
That's right.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more from Jerry Royce Live right here on your number one internet radio station, Positive Power 21. This is Dave Vision. This song is called Victorious. Enjoy. We'll be right back after this.
Just what I say when I pray, speak in faith, and when I'm done, I'll say amen. Oh, amen. When I'm done, I'll say amen. Oh, I am what He says I am. I can have what He says. Do what He says. Nothing is impossible, 'cause we are victorious. Oh, by grace we are saved through faith. No, it's not of ourselves, but it's a gift from God. There is no need to be afraid. Just stand still and know that He is God. Nothing is impossible, 'cause we are victorious.
Hey family, this is the Quiet
Oop, Paula got stuck. All right, we're back. Oh, I forgot to. My bad. I forgot what I was doing. I was paying attention to what they were saying on the feed. You back?
So see how you do. You over there controlling this show. and you supposed to be doing the interview, and you forget to unmute me. So
I know,
Terry, you just
Robot been
batting
acting up.
100 today.
Yeah, I know. Superwoman's right though. She told me the other day, Robot been acting funny lately on Spreaker Radio, and she's right. He been getting stuck sometimes. He be in the middle of a word and just freeze on us. I gotta contact him. All right. Maybe I got too much stuff open.
All right.
I need a Mac.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in live with me tonight. We have the visionary Jerry Royce live on with us, and we're having a great time. We're just going to jump right back in it. All right, Jerry, you've been working on quite a few projects. Mm-hmm. One that I know has been near and dear to your heart, actually a few, which are films. And you've been working on the Who I Am film that's set to be released. Tell us a little bit about Who I Am.
Who I Am. Actually, that's supposed to be released this weekend. I had so much stuff. The snowstorm threw me behind. No excuse, but I really wanted to make sure that thing done right. So I'm going to give y'all a release date as soon as it releases. I don't want to be one of those people I say, that's the date, and it doesn't happen. Because I'm trying to release it on Amazon, so be available, worldwide. So anyway, Who I Am. You guys remember in April 2015, Baltimore experienced one of its worst riots in a very long time. A young man was killed in the hands of the police officer, and it just was just like a domino effect. A lot of sports athletes and a lot of the the important people of Baltimore came together on this one. And as a new filmmaker, I was still in school pretty much. I was like, wow, I need to do something. What can I do? But of course, everybody had a camera. We're there, and I'm sure somebody's gonna pick up that story. Especially because you had Ray Lewis there, and Pastor Bishop Jamal Bryant was there. Big chair. Charles Clark was there, and I think it was some networks with bringing camera people up here. So anyway, I wanted to do my part, but I didn't want it to just be that short-winded version. Those people gone. Where's Ray Lewis? Where is Pastor Bishop? Are they still in the streets, marching? I don't think so. But I wanted something that was going to have a lasting effect. And then I thought about it and prayed on it. God was giving me different pieces, but I just didn't have no idea what he really was saying for me. But with God, you have to have a lot of patience, with me, because, sometimes my little ADHD jumps in. I'm like, I want to know now. I want to know now, being a big baby.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're talking about, I started this thing in 2015, interviewing these three young men. And I still had, I mean, me and Joyce was going back and forth with the name. I didn't know what to call it. Is it Faith Walker? Is it? And then one day I was looking at some movies on Netflix, and then Who I Am jumped out at me. And then, Dr. Paul and I was working on the Next Man Up, podcast. And then I said, wait a minute, that's the missing piece. Next Man, these are guys who have stepped up in their community. And there's three young men, and all of them bring different things to the table. You have one that's married, two are single, but they all have the same vision. And that is to help mankind. They don't care the color, height, weight, nothing. They just want to do something for the kingdom. They're not preaching to nobody. They just want to do their part. They just want to lift people up, and help those that can't help themselves. And I just thought that was so phenomenal. And I mean, their diction, the way they told their story. I mean, it was no retakes. It was I just said, just be yourself, just talk. I gave them a few questions, and then as time went on, you're talking about, that was 2015. It's 2018 now. I didn't really understand what God wanted until like last month. And
that's how it be sometimes.
I know. And it's done. I just got to work on the cover, so I can put it on Amazon. But other than that, the movie is done. And I'm really happy with it too. I mean, it's like, I think, black men, if I thought this to myself one time. I was in church. I said, wow, look at them. Suppose I was another color. I'm not even going to pick a color. I'm just not black. And I'm not a black man. I'm just a man. And I'm looking at these people And I'm saying, wow, all of this stuff has happened to them in the last 300-400 years, but yet they still can do this stuff that they doing. I mean, they the greatest athletes.
Yeah.
They some of the greatest entertainers that you've ever seen in your life, but they're still here. You know?
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, President Obama, I think he's one of the most phenomenal orators ever. You know, you think about some of that stuff like that, you say, wow, you know, the little kids. I watched little kids play football. I see some little kids do some stuff on the football field. I said, wow, did you see that? So I'm thinking I would be jealous. I think I would be envy of them. They're like Marvel men, you know? So that's why I said, I got to do this, you know, and I listened to these Japanese women on YouTube, what they were saying about black men, and they spoke so highly of us. It was like, are they Asian? They're saying that, you know. If you just listen to it on the radio, you say, wow, those black girls sound Asian.
Yeah.
So it's important.
I was just thinking about before you even said that there was, you know, 3 of the Asian ladies that were saying, "Oh my goodness, it was phenomenal." If I find it, I'll post it. But anyway, let's get back to what you're saying.
Yeah. So
let me tie something in real quick.
Okay.
Because you talked about Next Man Up. Tell those who don't know what Next Man Up is, because I know that kind of ties into the film Who I Am. So just give them an idea of what you're talking about when you say Next Man Up, the series.
Boy, we might have to go past 11:30. I'm going to tell you, Next Man Up. Dr. Kelly and I, we talk all the time. He just so blown away by Next Man Up. Of course, God gave me that vision. I mean, that's like something the guys say on the football field. When one guy get hurt, when your number one get hurt, the number 2 guy stands. He's next man up. He got it. Yeah. He got it. And sometimes he's probably better. He just was waiting for his opportunity. Yeah. You know, that could be on the job anywhere. So what was tickling me so much about that when God put that on my heart, it's like, wow, I was listening to these females' testimonies on these late night shows, and all I'm hearing is abuse and abuse and abuse. And I was like, what? I didn't know black men did those kind of things, for one. You know, you're hearing about being raped by their father and their stepfather. It's like, we supposed to protect them. You know, it's not a third world country. And that was really messing with me. And then when I met men like David Benton and Kent Osborne, guys awesome men of God. Charles D. Clark, guys who were incarcerated, who lost almost half their life. You know, you're talking about these are guys that have been in prison since they turned 18 on up. One guy just got out 2 years ago. And I think he's like at least in his 30s. But you would never know that if he never told you, because he's carrying his ministry like he's been here forever on the street. And then you listen to some of their situations they when you're like, wow, how are they even alive? So it's like, I'm saying next man up. We need that man to stand up for his community, for his household, for his job, his community, the neighboring schools, the kid who doesn't have a father. And when these guys speak, Miguel Esparza, phenomenal minister. He's out Seattle. We met him here in Gara Ward. These guys been on this show. Deacon Dada lost his son and his nephew to gun battle, and he's still out in the streets preaching peace. These are the next man up, and these are the guys that the world need to hear from, because I didn't think when people got out of prison they were successful. I thought they went right back in. It was a revolving door. But when you talk to Ken Osborne, show me his truck. This dude got an 18-wheeler refrigerated truck that he shipped goods all over the country. And he has his ministry, and he goes back to the prison ministry to give back. He's next man up. That's next man up. That's what I'm talking about.
Amen. That is so powerful. So powerful. If you guys haven't checked that out, Next Man Up the podcast airs on Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Yes, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Not this Saturday, though.
All right.
We'll be taking this weekend off.
Okay. Well, y'all deserve it. You deserve it. All the guys. I'm saying it really brings tears to my eyes because of joy. Mm-hmm. Because I really appreciate strong men standing up and encouraging other men, because we
That's
need
right.
that. We lack that now, and we're talking about the men that are the head of the households.
That's right.
And if the head is not doing what it is that he needs to do, or living in a way that represents Christ, or, and is a leadership example in the home, then everything up under him falls apart.
That's right.
And whether you want to believe that or not, the man holds that key to keeping that family together and solid and moving forward.
That's right.
And so we need stuff like this. So I commend you on, stepping out and doing what it is God called you to do, and making that vision plain, and now inviting other men to be involved in that. That's what's going to make that prosper.
And you know what else is so powerful about that too? And this is a piece that a lot of people probably didn't realize. We also have a man of the month. And the first, for January, it was Arthur Rowland, Robert Rowland. And in February, it was Pastor Keith Ron Powell. And the thing about it is too, that there's also the second piece of Next Man Up is sometimes as leaders, like your pastors and some of your community guys, you're so busy giving orders and people following you. They don't even have mentors, and sometimes they find themselves slipping or failing alone and maybe depressed. And then what happens? They're not held accountable to anything, to any laws, because a lot of times some of your pastors are above that law. So they're going to slip up, and then what's going to happen? They forget that people watching them, like a young guy could be watching them. And the next thing you hear, oh yeah, pastor was found in his studies, with a female, and it wasn't his wife. How you think that young men in that church, or the young minister, is going to feel when he's committed to his wife, and he loves his wife with all his heart, and he would never break her heart, but yet he went and done it because you put him on a pedestal. So sometimes these guys need to be reminded, and I think that this program can remind them too that they're mentors. They're role models, and sometimes you forget that. You just, especially if you don't have your own family. You don't have small kids. You can just come and go as you please, and nobody gonna see me. Oh yes, they will see. People are watching you. They're watching your actions and the words you speak. So Next Man Up is I wouldn't say we the police or watchdog, but I just felt like in the back of your mind, it's a whole lot of people you about to let down if you do cross that line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think it's good that, even with that, you also have an opportunity to encourage each other.
Yes.
It will also encourage men to step up, but then they add to what you already have going on. You have these strong leaders and men that are on the Next Man Up, and that are representing that who I am. And you're also producing more leaders by doing this show and by releasing this film. All right. I know what you hope to accomplish out of this film. And I want to talk briefly about another film that you have, because I know it's kind of been a slower process, and definitely want to get this right and have this release, because it's very, very important, and it is Dirty Diana. Tell us about that, and when can we expect a release on that, or some time frame for that to be released?
I was pushing for the summer up until the Next Man Up took its own life. The deal is the weather's been really bad, and it's some footage that I need for outside, because this movie is very important. Because I'm going to be pretty much narrating my journey, even though you're going to hear other people speaking of their experience. And a lot of you guys know I've been living with diabetes. It reared its ugly head to me. I think it was like 2013, 2014. I was able to reverse it like in 2-3 months, because I had a really, really good doctor at the time. But when one of the things I was hearing today on Elation Radio, and about Apostle had a piece on stress, and you'd be surprised how stress can really make things complicated, and it made my diabetes really, really complicated. It took another level, and I just wasn't able to
Yeah.
get it under control with what I was already doing. I was training for a 10K race, and I'm going to tell you how
Wow.
complicated the disease is. And I mean, you can
Yeah.
if you put your body under any kind of stress, whether it's training, weightlifting, work stress, relationship stress, it can cause your numbers to go out of control. And that means up and down. The only way you be able to control is through medication and closely being monitored by your doctor, like week to week, because you're talking about death. I've known people who went in comas, and it was a blessing that came out. But the deal is, I wasn't able to reverse it. She gave me a time frame, and I had to go in it because the medicine is almost as complicated as the disease. It's like the side effects is like whatever you read, the side effect, that's what it is. So
Yeah. Wow.
so, it was like a really long journey with that time frame. So I just wanted to kind of journal it into a story, which means it's going to be like BET meets the medical community. It's a documentary, but it's going to have music. We're going to actually hold a contest to get some more music, and I already had a soundtrack written by Sean Ray Price. And a lot of you know Sean Ray Price. Sean Ray Price has been part of the award-winning Grammy winner Mariah Carey. So she knows her stuff, and she already written one track, and it's like it blew my mind. I mean, I was like, oh my God, this is serious. This is serious now. So I've really taken my time with this, and I mean, we got like more equipment in, we're storyboarding the rest of the movie, and we got more people interested in speaking about their challenges with the disease. So I just thought it was important because, and I'll make it real quick, a lot of people don't understand that it affects everybody differently. Really does. I mean, if you ever go, and I'm gonna tell you, I was really, and it'll depress you. And it's not really the disease. Sometimes it's the medicine that does stuff. A lot of people have been on medicine. Sometimes the medicine will make you feel worse than the disease. And I remember I was talking to Patrice Jackson. I was talking one night back and forth. And Patrice said, Jerry, maybe we should join the support, because I couldn't find no help offline. And I mean, I wasn't getting no help from nobody. My wife didn't understand what was going through. Her sister actually had lost her husband from it. And something never crossed to my wife. Hey, let me call my sister and find out, what's going on. It's like, they just saw me.
Yeah.
He all right. Dad's okay. Dad, he's strong. Dad does everything. He can fix the roof. He can fix our cars. That's how he looked at me, right? But I was in trouble. I was spinning out of control fast. I mean, Tina would tell you, because she was getting sick too. We couldn't even help each other. We both were superheroes.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do nothing I couldn't drive my car. She couldn't fly no more nowhere. It was bad. I mean, we went off the air for a while.
Wow.
So to make a long story short, after Patrice didn't tell me about the support group until the summer. This is because I'm kind of getting it under control now. But it's like affecting my mind now. And Patrice said, Jerry, why don't you try Facebook? They got all these support groups. And she was so right. It's like thousands of people, 60, 30,000, 100,000 members. And everybody going through something different. And I made friends with like 3 people. It was 3 ladies who reached out to me and called me up and everything, but they was way more straight. And you know what really helped me the most was, it's people got it way worse. They can't even work. It's like, if they wanted to work, they couldn't. They can't even. If they can make it a good 2 hours in a day working, they lucky. They said. They said some days it's just so bad they can't even get out of bed. I was like, wow, it could get like that. So that even motivated me more to listen to my doctor, because I ended up finding a real doctor who really knew. Well, I can say real doctor, but he was a specialist, and he said, I don't know if you're gonna be able to come off of medication. That's how I was getting. It was like that. I was like, oh my God, I'm on medication for the rest of my life. So that motivated me more to change my diet completely. Then I met Daynette Watson, who, of course, she's our sponsor for our show. She has a supplement company, and she was telling me how she had this supplement to get rid of the pains. Because it felt like I played football every day. I woke up and felt like, oh my gosh, I got hit by 3 linebackers going through the middle. That's how I felt every day. That's why I was going to work late. I was eating up time. I couldn't think straight. I was in so much pain. I could hardly drive. So and that was another reason why I thought the movie was so important, because your bosses, your family, your friend. I mean, I got a friend going through it right now and it's really bad. I mean, I just saw him the other day. He just told me he had 7 eye surgery. He's trying to save his eyesight.
Wow.
He ain't even worried about his toes no more because he lost 2 toes. He don't even care about that. He's trying to save his eyesight. So people don't know how serious this disease is. And this is a guy who was a marathon runner and a professional football player. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he played in the Arena League. So, and I remember he could play his butt off in basketball. He was a killer on the court. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember this guy. He dominated in sports. Now he could barely walk across the floor to get to his car. I was like, man.
Wow.
I know. See, people just don't know. This thing is. You got stress in your life, and I know he has it because you go to sleep wondering if you're going to wake up, and you wake up wondering if you're going to be able to make it through the day. You know?
That's something. That's definitely something. I believe, especially since I've been talking to you and learning more about it, and I know people that have diabetes. I know people that are living with it and that continuously does the wrong things, like eating wrong and stuff like that. And I for one, and I can admit this too, because dealing with high blood pressure and different things like that, and I have to take medicine every day so that I won't have issues. You know, I have a problem with keeping up with my medicine and making sure I'm taking and eating healthy and all those things. And I had a friend that just recently had the same issues, high blood pressure, and ended up having a brain aneurysm.
Ooh.
And she's now pretty much, she has to be taken care of.
Oh, God.
So what I used to do, I used to work in a nursing home, and she and I were coworkers, and so now she's in the home, and the same people that were working with her are now caring for her. So, you know, we have to definitely educate ourselves and be informed about what is going on. Diabetes is not a small thing, just like, you know, any other health issue. This is something that we really need to put out in the forefront. So I definitely thank you for being, you know, obedient again and doing something that is going to change the lives of people, all the people that see this film, and you're going to be impacted by this film. Yes. Before we head out, I want you to, I mentioned a bit earlier in the show that we now have a new television network, Music Vision TV. How did this come about, real briefly, and what are your plans, and what do you hope to accomplish with this
How did it come about? It was your fault. I told Dr. Tranell, I said, Dr. Tranell, check out these networks. I got to find a place for my movies and our TV shows. I got all these people coming to town about to produce TV shows, and we don't know where to put it. You know, and then I remember Kimmy said a long time ago, said, Jerry Royce, why don't you do a television show? So when she said it first and then you said it, I said, oh God. Then Dr. Kelly, yeah, we got to have a positive power. So I was like, okay. That's the third person. And,
all the confirmation.
All these because all he talk about, he said, yeah, you know, I had Pastor Tom on a television station, you know. So I was like, oh gosh, that's the third person. So I did, Paula G and I did experiment with it for a while, and it was successful. So now it's just a matter of just building up. And just like you said in the meeting we had, that a lot of those stations that we've been looking up to, not really that far ahead of us. The biggest thing is they trying to build up subscribers. And the main thing is you got to invest money to build up your network. And then at the same time, the branding piece of it is the most important, which we already had. You know, the whole 21 is just there. The staff said anything we put our brand, I think it's going to be great. We got the right people. I got about 5 people coming to town just to shoot TV shows. Paul and G actually had a meeting. That's going to be good. Yeah, that's going to be, I think March should be scheduled for her. Then Kimmy's coming to town. Then we have Jasmine Williams, her mom, a best-selling book author. They coming to town. So, And I think it was some other two people. I think Tammy Tubbs. I just talked to her today. We get ready to get some more shows from Tammy Tubbs. I'm going to reach out to Dr. Sunday. We've been current her show. And also Mr. Appointed. She just released about 5 new shows. So we got a lot of shows to run on the network. I think we're ahead of the networks that you were calling already.
Well, the biggest thing is I know everybody is trying to, get stuff out there and do different things. But what's going to make this network, Positive Power, Music Vision TV, what's going to make that stand out above the rest?
What you said, we ain't going to be putting anything on there. We're going to review it.
Exactly.
And one of the music videos, like, of course, we got relationship with all those artists that have videos out. So now they have a place for their music, and all those artists are phenomenal. So that's another thing that's a checklist, because I know with your artists, they have videos out, but it's like, once they show it on Facebook, I think people probably pretty much like, oh, that's great, nice video. And then what happened that they spent, all this time producing it. Now it's over. So now you have an opportunity to let us run it over and over in rotation, and people because I know Patrice told me she just sit back and watch them and just enjoy it on her TV. You can shoot it right to your TV you can cast it to your smart TV or your Chromecast or Roku. You can put it, as long as you got YouTube, which is YouTube is universal now. So that's the phenomenal thing, and that's when you really opened me up when we was talking about those people being on Roku, and I was like, the people even watch Roku. I got Roku, and that thing gets on my nerve. I said, YouTube is a universal station. What finalized it was I was watching a YouTube footage. It was this white guy was talking about how these big major networks is purchasing these video platforms for like $500 million. I think it was like CBS or NBC. I was like, what? So now, internet is really like what cable used to be. It's like, okay.
That is what it is. You think about BT, MTV, and VH1. They had music video shows all day long.
That's right.
And this gives the opportunity. What you're doing is gives the opportunity that if we get off work or if we're having a day where we can't actually tune in to our favorite shows on TV, we now have an opportunity and a platform where we can actually see those music videos, high quality, good quality shows. The content is going to be amazing. So I look forward to it. I know Reese said she's looking forward to it. I know everybody else is looking forward to it. It's just going to be so amazing. You're doing an amazing job. I want to thank you, Jerry, for coming on and sharing the vision. I believe God is going to do some amazing things through this network and through you. So I look forward to the next. This is just I'm on cloud nine just watching what God is doing.
Amen.
All right.
Yeah, but one thing before we go, I just want to let everybody know we actually going to be part of a published book, an anthology published by Patrice Jackson called Purpose Matters. So I'm excited about this. I'm actually going to be published in 2018 as well, and it's going to, I think, like next week. So we're actually doing interviews and everything. So God is good. God is moving us. He's like I said, feel the power. What else can you say?
Amen. Did you can you let everybody know where to find you at, they can check out the lives at either that's YouTube, Spreaker, and all that? Yeah. You want to give them that information?
I say the easiest thing for me to tell everybody, just go out to positivepower21.org, positivepower21.org. Everything is right there. Our Facebook links, our YouTube links, everything. The live feed is there. You can grab it, share it, copy it on your site. The Spreaker Radio, all the podcasts that's on our network, except for the new, and Zion is up. We're still trying to get Mr. Jefferson up on Spreaker Radio, but other than that, everybody is up and running on Spreaker. We will be moving them over on our website real soon. So come on out to the website, and that's where you find all the action at for positivepower21.org. Okay? That's it.
Great. Awesome.
All
right. Well, this is your host. I am your host, Dr. Tranell Steward, and you are tuned in to Late Night with Dr. T right here on Positive Power 21. Catch me live every Tuesday night with the best of indie gospel and inspirational music, the hottest interviews and artists, and with artists, different community leaders, change makers, everything. Next week, I'll be actually live with a special guest, the one and only Lady Q. She's a phenomenal Christian comedian that is at the top of her game. You do not want to miss this. I've seen this lady in Georgia, and when I tell you, I was laughing from the time she started to the time she ended her set. And she is just an amazing comedian. You guys got to be here to hear that, and then we'll share, a little bit about her social media and all that kind of stuff, so you guys can keep up with her and actually go out and support when she is doing shows. All right, but please, please, please be sure to subscribe to the Positive Power 21 TV network, the page, the YouTube page. This is for you all. Artists, anybody listening, everybody. Anybody can get something out of what's on there, that content that's on there. And it is more to come, so you don't want to miss out on it. I pray that you have been blessed. Until next week. Love you guys.
Amen.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
I've been redeemed by the blood of the Lamb. By the blood of the Lamb. Oh, I've been redeemed, yeah, by the blood of the Lamb. By the blood of the Lamb. I shine so bright. I shine so bright. I shine so bright for all to see. Oh, I shine so bright. I shine so bright. I shine so bright for all to see. I've been redeemed. Yeah. Been redeemed, yeah. By the blood of the Lamb. Oh, by the blood of the Lamb. I've been redeemed, yeah. Oh, God. Been redeemed, yeah. By the blood of the Lamb. Oh, by the blood of the Lamb.
rock with Zion. You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
It's a love thing. Get your 3-day fix every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on XXI.org. Worldwide Media Radio, the place where royalty rocks.